Okay, now we're going to add the trees, and what we'll learn in this lesson is how to nudge, which is just moving your layers in small increments, transforming again with keeping your aspect ratio, duplicating layers in a very quick and easy fashion, and then creating layer groups in order to keep your layers palette nice and organized. So I've pulled up the tree from your autobiography poster, and I'm going to rip it off. I'm going to go to my Move tool, or simply just click V on your keyboard, and then move that tree right on over to your poster. Now if you look at the example poster on the front of your packet, you'll notice that the trees are significantly smaller than this one. Before we downsize those trees, you'll notice two larger trees next to your globe. So before we downsize, we're going to go ahead and use this tree to do those two larger trees on the outside of the globe. Hit Command T and downsize it just a little bit. And then in order to make a copy of this tree, we're going to go ahead and just hold down your Alt key. Your Alt key is right between your Control and Command key. And you'll notice you'll get a little black and white arrow at the same time. Now I'm going to hold down Alt, and then I'm going to drag a new tree on the other side. And then release both your mouse and your Alt key. They're the exact same size and exact same aspect ratio. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create the smaller trees that kind of come up from the ground on the foreground. So I'm going to do the same thing, holding down Alt. I'm just going to bring this one over here. I'm going to start on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to hit Command T and shrink that by holding my Shift key and grabbing this corner. Really small, and then hit return or double click, and we'll bring that right up here. Now as you can see, it's just a matter of holding down Alt, and what's happening here is you're creating a bunch of layers. Now to make this easy, I'm going to go ahead and label that top layer here by just double clicking on layer 1, copy to, double click, and then type in small tree. Okay. And then I'm going to hold down Alt and continue to create more trees. So I can fit 5 there, and then I'm going to bring this one over here and bring them down. If your poster's not completely symmetrical, that's okay. Now I have all these tree layers. In fact, if I click on my eyeball, I know that's my large tree, so I could go ahead and label that large tree. If I click on this eyeball, that's another large tree. And so I have large tree, and then all these small tree copies. If I were to keep these in my layers palette like this, my layers palette is just going to get longer and longer, and it's going to be more and more difficult to find layers if I want to modify anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my top layer here, and then I'm going to click on this little button here. It looks like a little file folder. If I hover my cursor over it, it'll say create a new group. Go ahead and click on that, and then you'll get group 1. I'm going to actually relabel this group 1 to trees. And then I'm going to click on my top tree, hold down Shift, click on the bottom tree, so all of them get highlighted in the middle, and then click, hold it, and wait for it to fall in the trees folder. Collapse it, and now it's much tidier, much easier to locate other layers in your layers palette. That concludes the trees lesson. We'll see you for the building. I almost forgot to show you how to nudge. So number 1, nudge. How this works is if you are on the Move tool, and let's say that I'm on my large tree here, I can use my arrow keys located on my keyboard to move these into place. This gives you a little bit more control than using the mouse, and it's particularly helpful when you need to get something very, very specifically in a certain location. So sorry I forgot about that, but that's nudge, and it will come in useful, especially when you are working with very, very small layers. Okay, bye.